Okay, so I wanted to go over a couple of things about the stablecoin project so that there's some more understanding. There's some background information that you guys need about NFTs, what that is, how that works into what the plan is, how we can make it so that more people can actually take advantage of both sides of what's available with our cryptocurrency project. So a non-fungible token is a token that's actually unique in the value of the token, right? So I'm going to adjust this just a little bit. So the value of the token, if you look at what NFTs are on like OpenSea or Rarible, it's an art piece. Usually it's like a JPEG, and it's they may or may not have other things attached to it. There's functionality that is often associated with the NFT. So basically, it's an art collectible that you can get on these different platforms, and it has a different value based on whatever the market is willing to pay for it. So there's been some pretty interesting things happen with NFTs for millions of dollars, and then there's just junk pictures out there just like there are everywhere on the internet. So you can spend $30 million on a piece of art, or you can buy a $2 print from the dollar store. So each one has its own determined value based on what the market's willing to pay for it. So one of the things that you can do with a non-fungible token is you can actually assign different things. Basically, you can make it a song, or you can make it a movie, or an album, or a series of photographs, or a photograph, or all kinds of different files that you can put associated with the non-fungible token. So the NFT is basically a functional piece of software that you can use on the blockchain and have proven ownership and interoperability with different blockchains, right? So that's something that's really interesting for us. Essentially, what we're thinking of doing is taking the asset, the proof of ownership of the asset and all the documents thereof, and putting it into a non-fungible token so that you can stake the hard asset on the blockchain, okay? So that gives you the let's say it was $1 million, just for easy math, right? So you got a piece of property, or a gold mine or something like that, and you've got proof of ownership, and you've got the value that's been assessed by the experts. And I don't want to go into what those documents are, etc., but you can upload all of those documents to the NFT, and then it's verified with what's called an oracle software, which is, for example, Chainlink or something like that, shows the value of it. And then tokens are minted on the blockchain, on our other blockchain, on the other side of it, on that network. Tokens are minted based on the value of that. Now, the difference, and the thing that sets us apart, is that it's a double-backed stablecoin. Okay, so on the one side you have an asset that's being staked on the blockchain, and on the other side you have the tokens being minted, but we're selling the tokens, but we're not spending the tokens. So we want them to be immediately retrievable, or make it possible for whoever buys our token to cash out without any delay. Right? So we want to take the risk out of it on both sides of the equation. So for example, and then we also want to have staking available on both sides, right? So they're going to stake their asset on the one side, and then they're also going to have the potential to stake on the token side. So there's some other projects, and obviously this isn't fully fleshed out. There's a lot of opinions that we need. There's a lot of viewpoints that we need. We need to flesh a lot of this stuff out. But this is the main gist of it. So it's a double-backed stable coin that we can use for paying out like yield farming with the value. Let's say I was talking to someone earlier today about the possibility of them being able to take the equity that they have in their house and stake that on the blockchain. You can't currently do that with the systems we have in place. So this would be something that would be of value for huge properties, hedge funds, etc., or somebody that owns like a huge oil well or property like that in the billions, but also something small where somebody can take the $30,000 in equity that they have in their house and do all the correct title, licensure, and everything that's necessary legal for that, and stake that on the blockchain for yield farming. So it's a huge project to undertake, but understanding first of all where the value is and what we can do with it, it's really interesting. So if we can take that and stake it for yield farming, you can't do that right now, and there's all kinds of limitations and restrictions. If you want to go to a bank and borrow money against a house, or if you want to borrow money for a house, you have to have credit, and you have to have all these other things. Well, what if you just were able to go around the bank and not have to do that for a mortgage? It's all very interesting, and taking the potentials of these different banking instruments and putting them onto the blockchain, I think, is part of what we should be about. So having the double-backed stablecoin and having all of these yield farming potentials, plus if they hold the token, it's like if you hold Bored Apes, or not Bored Apes necessarily, but Cyberkongs, it's an example of a NFT. If you hold Cyberkongs, then you're gonna get, like if you get one of the Genesis Cyberkongs, you're actually gonna get 40 or 100 banana tokens every day. So that those are currently selling for about $40 a piece. So now you're looking at actually getting $400 a day because you own this JPEG on the blockchain. So it's radical stuff, but there's already working models for most of the pieces that I'm talking about. So what we do is we put all those things together. We use the working models that are already in existence. We use the code that's already there in some of these yield farming or DeFi projects, so that we can help people gain the benefit of staking and yield farming from both sides of the project. So those are a couple of things. I don't want to make it too long or too insane or too confusing. So to understand just how big the project is, there's so much potential in this project, and we need help. We need people to get on board, and we're gonna move forward. Like, no matter what, this project, it needs to be there. So thanks for watching. I appreciate all of your interest. Please enter any comments or questions that you have below, and share this video. Thanks.